Okay, so
and then he called up some of his bookies and was like, I need a job.
Okay.
And he got a job at a bookmaking office. And I didn't know about it till I was like,
office.
yeah, there was an office.
There was a brick and mortar?
Oh, there was an office.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
No, this was like a legit operation.
Okay.
They moved millions, like millions a week. It was in the fabric district of New York, next to sweatshops. So when I finally found out about the offices, I would go to the office and you'd pass like a bunch of these really shady sweatshops with like young Asian kids working on sewing machines and stuff. It was really bad. Yeah.
So how did the mob get involved? Sorry, I don't want to talk about your dad the whole time, but this is fascinating.
Yeah, no, it's
So how did the mob get involved?
How'd they get involved?
Yeah.
They were, so I think when he called up his friends who were his bookies, they were associated with the mob and they hired him, and he slowly started moving up and he became like one of the kind of top people in this bookmaking operation.
Wow.
Or one of the offices. I still don't know fully the structure of how it all went down because I was young, but and then I started getting involved when I was like, because he lied to me forever. I talk about this on my Comedy Central thing. He would have weird lies. Like he used to tell me he was John Bon Jovi's manager for no reason. I don't know why. And then I would ask for tickets and he'd be like, yeah, I can get you tickets. And I would tell my friends, I was like, hey, do you guys want to go to a John Bon Jovi concert? And then I would go to my dad and he'd be like, nah, I couldn't get him. Like, it's just like, why did you need to go through that?
I think not to be your therapist, but he didn't want to be you to be disappointed in him. Right?
Of course, but that's like a very, like, you could clearly call him out on a lie like that, you know?
But now that you mentioned the mob, I do need you to sign this release.
Why is there blood on it?
Wait, so you weren't a bookie as a kid, obviously, though. You did that in college or something?
No, so I started to find out about it, and he wanted to bring me in to do these odd jobs. So it started out
in high school?
In high school, junior high. I think it was in junior high. Yeah, it was like middle school. The end of middle school, maybe?
This is such a good
beginning of my sophomore year, maybe of high school was when I started. And I started by doing small odd jobs. Like I started like cleaning the offices once.
Okay, did they have a front at least for this business? Were they like...
No, so I don't know if you've ever been to New York City, but they have like these huge, not office buildings. Like that sounded like I was being condescending, but there's these like very shady brick kind of buildings in the fabric district, and you don't know what's in them. They're not like
I didn't mean front like an actual front. I meant like were they in some legitimate business as a cover, as I use in quotes? Were they in like textiles?
I don't know.
Were they laundering the money? I mean, behind the.
So I think everybody kind of like the head guys probably had their own way of laundering the money. My dad just never existed. He basically didn't exist. He stole a guy's identity. This is real. And started just kind of using his ID. Yeah. No, it's true, man. He kept at some point he had, I think, 50 or 60K in cash under his bed.
Wow. So you had no idea.
He didn't have a bank account. He didn't have pay taxes. I have no idea. I was like, he's just a shady guy.
And they were paying you like minimum wage to just clean the place up. So I came in
there. No. So they wasn't hourly. They'd be like, hey, do you want like $200-300? You come in, clean it up. I was like, sure, yeah, I'll take $200-300. Yeah, I was like 14. So I started doing that, and then I started disposing of bags. I didn't know what was in the bags. It was just, I found out later it was all the betting slips. So it was like they would write down the bets. This was before computers were really prominent. So they would just kind of like be like, the Broncos plus 200 for this amount of money. And then they would write it, and then they would score it. And when they were done, they'd have to get rid of them because they were evidence.
Yeah, of course.
And say they'd shred them, but shredding them wasn't enough. They'd have to get rid of the shredding bag. And so I would drive around New York and drop them off at different dumpsters in different boroughs. Which is funny. This is when I just got my learner's permit. I didn't even have my license yet. Yeah.
And you never looked in the bags?
Never looked in the bags. I knew what was in them, but I didn't look in them. Yeah.
Oh, at that point you'd figured it out.
Yeah. I understood what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was the coolest fucking thing, dude.
Okay, sure.
Like,
well,
the Sopranos was huge at that time. It was like, this is so fucking cool. The Sopranos was like, I was like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. Seriously, I was like, that's the guy.
Did your dad like sit you down and tell you that he was doing illegal things? Or did he never explicitly tell you?
Oh, well, I found out when he got arrested, I want to say in 98.
So you were like 15 or something?
No, it was earlier than that. I just remember it was the Jets were in the place. We were Jets fans.
Everything you have is related to a certain game.
The Jets were in the playoffs. They had gone pretty far. And right after the Jet game, I was going to call him because my parents were divorced, and he didn't pick up. And later that night, he called me and was like, hey, I'm in jail. I'll explain everything. I just want to let you know so you don't worry. Like, we had a pretty close relationship, too. But, yeah, he was in jail. And then he got out later that day. And, like, I think he explained. I knew he was doing shady stuff at that point. Like,
sure.
You know, I knew he was gambling a bunch. That's for sure. Because he would be up and down with money all the time.